With the wide variety of movement styles and weapons in Pro, we had to spend a lot of time developing an animation system that can really handle everything you need it to. In this video, we're going to explain override layers, which are used for swimming, climbing, driving, and more. And we'll also explain overlay layers, which are used in the base tool for weapons, but really can be used to overlay any logic. And in this video, we'll show you how to make a carryable barrel overlay, which is pretty cool as well. Alright guys, so we're here in the project in the demo map, and I'm going to show you how the animation system works. So the first thing I'm going to teach you actually is override layers. So sometimes you want to completely override the character's logic, the base walking logic, like this logic here where I'm walking around. This is kind of the default, but sometimes you need to override it. And we use the term override because it's kind of assumed that at some point you'll go back to your base logic. So a good example is swimming. When I jump into this water, you can't really tell, but this is actually an override layer. We're completely overriding your logic to do swimming. And when you climb out of the water, we remove that override layer. And you can't even tell the transition because it's actually blended, which we'll talk about as well. And climbing is another override layer. I can jump onto something, and this is a completely different override layer. Overrides can have all their own animation logic and so on. And I want to show you how easy these are to use. So let's jump out and we'll go into the level blueprint because I want you guys to try something out. I want you guys to do debug key 6 so that when you press the 6 key on your keyboard, we're going to get your player character, get the character anim instance, and all we're going to do is we're going to apply an override layer just to show you how easy these are to work with. So when you press 6, let's turn the swimming layer on, okay? And you can select how long you want to blend that in over. Let's do 1 second. And try this out. Play in the game. And press 6 on your keyboard. And your character will start playing the swimming logic, right? And it might not work perfectly because it's not really supposed to be used while you're in the walking movement mode. It's, you know, when you're in the swimming movement mode. But you can see how easy these are to apply. And I want to show you how easy these are to remove as well. So we can drag out and search for remove override layer. And we can blend it out over 1 second when we release the 6 key. So what this will do is when you're holding down 6, it will apply the swimming. And when you release 6, it will blend out the swimming. Now, each character can have its own override layer. So for example, let's imagine that you make a horse and horses are able to swim. A horse will have its own swim layer, right? Because a horse has different swim animations and stuff like that. And that's why when you apply an override layer, you don't just select what animation blueprint to use. You select what tag to use. And then the character, the horse or the human or whatever, will select the actual animation to overlay. So how that works is if you look in any appearance asset, so for example, appearance Manny, this is the one that you use by default in Narrative Pro. If you open that up, you can see that it has ABP biped, and you can swap that out. You don't have to use our animation blueprint. This is just kind of the default one. If you open it up and go into the details panel over here, if you search for override, this is where you define all of the animations, right? And each character will have their own one. So you can see swimming for the biped will apply biped override swim. And actually, if you've seen our horse video where we make a horse, we actually add a custom horse riding override layer for when you're on a horse. So we could browse to the override swim, open it up, and if you want to modify how swimming works, you can do that here. You can see the swimming animation logic's actually quite simple. It just plays a swim blend space, and it does a little bit of control rig stuff as well, but it's relatively simple, right? You might look at something like the override climb to figure out how climbing works. And climbing's a bit more complicated. We're doing some IKing of the hands to make them hold on to the ledge and stuff like that. But this is where all of that logic is contained. And you can see it's really nice and modular. As you add more to your game, each sort of thing is its own little chunk of logic. You're not dealing with some spaghetti code animation blueprint with like 50 different things in it, right? It's quite nice. Sometimes though, we don't want to override any logic, but we want to overlay logic. So I'll give you an example of this. In the demo map, if I open the weapon wheel and equip a steel sword, for example, you can see that I get that steel sword out, and my lower half is still playing the sort of default logic, but the upper half of my body is being overridden with a pose, in this case holding the sword. Or if I was to grab one of these bows and equip it, the upper half of my body is holding the bow. And not just that, but it can have a lot of logic too, like pulling a bowstring back. And sometimes that could be really complex logic. So that's overlaying. So how does overlaying work? Well, if you look at any of the override layers, like swimming, you can go into animation layers, click on override, and you can see that they plug their logic into the override. With overlay, on the other hand, if you go to something like the... Let's actually go to the bow. I think the bow is a good example. If you search for bow overlay, here is the bow. I can open it up and you can see it plugs its logic into the overlay layer, right? Instead of the override layer. We'll often get questions like, how do I make my character carry a big box around? Or how do I make my character slump their shoulders over and look tired? And the answer is to overlay that logic on top of the base animations. So I think we should do that. Let's go ahead and make a barrel carrying animation. Now, I'm not going to go super crazy with it. I'm not an animator, so it's not going to look amazing, but it will at least let you understand the concept, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll search for neutral idle. And there's this one here called neutral stand idle loop. This is the default idle animation in Narrative Pro, so it's a good base. And I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to copy it, and I'll just paste it into the content folder here. You can put it wherever you like. And I'm going to call this barrel carry. So we're going to do that barrel example. We're going to make the character hold a big barrel on their shoulder. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into this animation. And you can actually create really basic sort of animations right here in the editor. So if we click on the character's left clavicle, actually I'll do the right arm. I feel like the right arm would be better. So clavicle R, I'm going to sort of rotate that. And I'm just trying to get the character to sort of carry a barrel. So I'll click on the upper arm. And I'm just going to try and pose the character. Again, I'm not an animator, so it's probably not going to look that good, but it doesn't really matter. If you do have an animator, you can get him to make you a really nice looking one. And we'll go to the lower arm, and we'll sort of move it up. And I think we should sort of twist the hand a little bit as well. Okay, that looks good enough to me, right? So we can put a barrel on the character's shoulder here. And what you want to do is click on all of those bones you keyed. So click on clavicle, key. And actually, once you key just the clavicle, Unreal Engine is smart enough to know to key all the other bones you've modified as well, I think. Yeah. So now this is sort of our barrel carry idle pose. The beautiful thing about this is you don't need to create a barrel run and a barrel walk and a barrel jog, because all we need is this upper half of the body, right? So we will save this pose. And now I'm going to make my first overlay layer. Now that might sound kind of intimidating. It's actually really easy. We'll go to animation, Anim BP. The skeleton we use is called, I believe, Mannequin Old right now. We need to change that name to Narrative Mannequin, but Mannequin Old is the name as of this video. It might be Narrative Mannequin in future. And search for character anim instance. This is a good one to use. It just comes with some helper functions, narrative character anim instance. And I'm going to call this ABP barrel overlay. Open it up, go to that overlay layer, and you actually won't have the option to overlay. You have to go to the class settings, go to interfaces, search for layer, and it's called overlay layers biped. And then if you go to overlay, now you can actually plug in your barrel carry and then plug it in like that. This is how all of the weapons work. So I know this one's quite basic, right? This barrel overlay. But if you look at the bow, it's the exact same, right? It plugs all of the animations into this output pose. Obviously, the bow is much more complex. It has like a bow pull arrow from quiver and stuff like that. But this is the base idea behind this, right? And then to apply an overlay layer, all you need to do is grab that anim instance, and the function you want is called link anim class layers, and just select that barrel. If you want to know more about link anim class layers, I'll leave a video in the description from Epic Games where they explain it much better than I ever could. So we'll plug that in. I'm just going to disconnect these and we'll compile and save. And now when I press 6, my character is going to carry the barrel. Now I'm going to jump in, I'm going to press 6, and you can see nothing is going to happen. And it is actually overlaying the barrel animations, but you need to tell it how to overlay the animations. And the way that you do this is using curves. So the way that the animation curves are used and as they define how the animation should be overlaid. So you need to say, you know, how much of the left arm and the right arm and stuff like that do I want to overlay? And we give you a hell of a lot of control. You can see an example here where you only want to overlay the pistol arm and keep the other arm using the normal pose, right? So you can do some pretty cool things with this, but they can be a little bit complex. If you want to pause the video and look at the sort of full explanations of each curve, feel free. But I'm going to show you a bit of a hack because I know a lot of people watching this are not going to be, you know, animators. You want a simpler way of doing this. So what I would recommend is go into any of the existing overlays, like, for example, the pistol. I'm just going to search for pistol overlay. And you can see that it has a pistol idle 3P animation. And if I open this up, you can see that the pistol, it's got all these curves on it already. And what these curves are doing is explaining to narrative how it should overlay this pistol animation. And all we can do is just copy all of these curves, Control C. We will go into our barrel animation that we made, open it up, and literally just paste those curves in. And now the sort of animation system will overlay the barrel carry in the same way that the pistol overlays, which will be good enough, at least for our purposes in this tutorial. And you can obviously go in and try modifying different things and overlaying differently. But now if I press 6, you can see my character is carrying the barrel. You can see in the case of this animation, I probably want to not layer the left arm. I probably want the left arm to actually move. You can see right now, it's not layering the left arm. And so if I go in here and delete these layer arm left curves, that should make it so that it doesn't use this left arm in the animation. It's going to use that base locomotion. And look at that. My character's now swinging their arm around. And it doesn't have to be on or off, by the way. I could have modified those curves, and instead of making them, you know, 1 or deleting them, you could make it 0.5, which means it would only blend half of the left arm into those animations, right? So you can define exactly how you want to blend it. And for any experienced animation programmers watching this that actually want to see how that blend step works, open up our ABP biped, go into the anim graph, and the layering step is done inside of this layering here. So you can click into that and you can see how these blends work and so on. You can see the character snaps into the overlay. In a real game, you would usually play an animation to pick up the barrel first, and that would hide the snap. But there's other blending techniques that you can do. You can ask your animation programmer to do that blending. They will know how to do that. So I'm not going to talk too much about blends and things like that in this video. When you want to remove that logic, all you have to do is come in here and do unlink anim class layers and tell it to remove the barrel overlay, and that will remove it from your character. And that is exactly what narrative's doing. When you equip a weapon, narrative behind the scenes is just saying, hey, link the sword layer. Obviously, we're playing an equip animation and stuff like that, so it sort of hides a little bit of the applying of the layer, but that's how that works. It's actually quite simple. What about climbing? How do we animate the process of climbing? So you can see here, this probably shouldn't be a climbable ledge. When you jump at something, we do a bunch of collision checks and look for anything that is either mantleable or climbable. And the way you define this is if you search in your collision settings, there will be climbable and traversable. So if I was to turn off climbable for this box and leave traversable on, it will treat this box as a traversable object instead of a climbable object. I'm going to do the same here. And you'll see these boxes will perform a lot more naturally. You can see, there we go. These ledges over here are marked as climbable. And if you want to see exactly how we're tracing to find them, you can turn on n.cmc climb debug 2 for the full debugging information. And you can see exactly the checks that it's doing, and it's managing to find this ledge, and it's motion warping us to the ledge. And we use a very similar technique to what they do in Game Animation Sample Project. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to know kind of the specifics about how it's warping us around the map like that. It's pretty interesting stuff. The reason I'm mentioning all this in an animation video is because it is kind of a big part of the animation logic, but these are just motion. I thought I'd throw that in there because it's quite a big system as far as animation. What it's really doing, it's just playing animation montages and warping us. And it's also putting us into a custom movement mode where obviously your character's floating. They're not going to fall to the ground or anything. That's basically it. For anyone who's wondering about the specifics of how climb is moving you around. If you want to see how the collision checks are working, you can look at the narrative character movement file. It's in here somewhere. I think it's under character. Narrative character movement. You can open that up. I think my solution's corrupted here. Yours won't do that. Fuck you. So you can see here I've got this barrel, and I added an interaction component to it. And when the character interacts, we put that barrel overlay on, and we attach the barrel to your character. And I'll just show you this in game here, because this can hopefully help you to understand how to start building out some of this logic. You can see I can carry the barrel, my character picks up the barrel, and I can walk around with it. There's lots of smaller challenges, like obviously this doesn't look good in first person, but you can see like this is the general idea of overlaying, and it's relatively simple. So if you want to do something like this, now you can.